जय जय जननी श्री गणेश की जय जय जननी श्री गणेश की प्रतिभा परमेश्वर परेश की जय जय जननी श्री गणेश की जय जय जननी श्री गणेश की प्रतिभा परमेश्वर परेश की प्रतिभा परमेश्वर परेश की जय जय जननी श्री गणेश की जय जय जननी श्री गणेश की जय आदिशक्ति माता निर्मला हे जगदम्बे माता भवानी शुद्ध विद्या तव चरणन जानी मोक्षदान दो मोक्ष प्रदायिनी मोक्षदान दो मोक्ष प्रदायिनी तू विलासिनी
Now this Ganesha has appeared in Australia as Uluru. It's a very big mountain which looks like Sri Ganesh. It has a very big also a trunk going down. The vibrations itself will prove that it is Sri Ganesh from the Mother Earth. He has appeared in many places, Sri Ganesh, not only there. But there I felt is the really the source of vibrations. That's what is, and in Australia, I thank him that because of him only Sahaja Yoga has worked so well and so easily. And government also has never troubled us, or there has been no problem with them. I don't know what is helping them, but perhaps it is the Sri Ganesha as Uluru, which is protecting Sahaja Yoga there and is growing so much. In the same way, everywhere, wherever you may be, Sri Ganesha should be worshipped and you will be helped out and out. Miraculously, you will be helped miraculously. But first do something about our chastity, which is Sri Ganesh. May God bless you.
Jai Shri Mataji. Welcome to the first morning meditation for the 2021 International Shri Ganesha Puja Festival online. And this morning's meditation is brought to you from Australia. Let's begin by bowing down to Shri Mataji and taking a bandhan. Let's place both hands on Mother Earth. Take attention to the Muladhara. And let's take 4 mantras to Shri Ganesha. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Ganesha Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Ganesha Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Ganesha Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Ganesha Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. Keeping our attention Muladhara, let's place our right hand on our lap and keep our left hand on the earth and take the prayer to Shri Ganesha. Shri Ganesha, I am going to be worthy of your attention. Please make me innocent so that I am in your attention. Shri Mother, you who are Shri Ganesha, please give me wisdom and discrimination. Jai Shri Mataji. Place our right hand back towards Mother Earth. Attention at Muladhara. Let's all pray to Shri Ganesha. Shri Ganesha, please grant us innocence, wisdom, purity and chastity. Please bless us with your qualities. Please join us during this Shri Ganesha Puja festival as we worship you and our Holy Mother. Please remove all the obstacles to our spiritual ascent, individually and collectively. And please help spread Sahaja Yoga all over the world. Jai Shri Mataji. Bringing both hands to our lap now. Continue meditating and we'll listen to one bhajan. Namaste Ganapataye. Let's now raise our attention from Muladhara to Agya, where Shri Ganesha takes his form as Lord Jesus Christ. Let's place our right hand across our Agya and take the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, for ever and ever. Amen. Let's forgive everyone from our heart and pray to Mother. I forgive everyone, and I forgive myself. I forgive. Mother, I forgive. Let's take our right hand and place it on the back Agya, where Shri Ganesha takes his form as Maha Ganesha. Let's lean our head back and take one mantra to Shri Maha Ganesha. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Maha Ganesha Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Deve Namo Namaha. Let's pray here to Mother to please forgive us for any mistakes we've made against our spirit, knowingly or unknowingly. Mother, please forgive me for any mistakes I've made against my spirit, knowingly or unknowingly. Let's place both hands back on our lap. If we're feeling any catches on our fingers or our chakras on our body, let's surrender those to Shri Mataji. Just put your attention on them and pray to Shri Mataji. Mother, I surrender this to you. Mother, I surrender this to you. Bringing our attention to Sahasrara, let's take the three great mantras. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Mahalakshmi Mahasaraswati Mahakali Trigunatmika Kundalini Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Kalki Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Kalki Sakshat Shri Sahasrara Swamini Moksha Pradayani Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. Let's all pray to Shri Mataji. Shri Mataji, we humbly request that you join us during this Shri Ganesha Puja festival in dedication and devotion to you in your form of Shri Ganesha. Mother, we thank you again and again for our self-realization. Mother, we thank you again and again for all of your blessings and for allowing us to be your devotees. Jai Shri Mataji. We'll now listen to Shri Maha Ganesha Puja 1986 from Ganapati Pule.
Today we all have assembled here to pay our respect to Shri Ganesha. Ganapati Pule has a special significance. Because he is Mahaganesha. The Ganesha at Muladhara becomes Mahaganesha in the Virata, that is the brain. That means it is the seat of Shri Ganesha. That means Shri Ganesha governs. From that seat, the principle of innocence. As you know very well, it is placed at the back in the region of optic thalamus, optic lobe as they call it. And it is the giver of innocence to the eyes. When he incarnated as Christ, which is in here in the front, at Agya, he said very clearly that thou shalt not have adulterous eyes. It's a very subtle saying, which people don't understand. What is the meaning of the word adulterous? Adultery means impurity, in a general word. Any impurity in the eye thou shalt not have. It's very difficult. Instead of saying that you get your realization and clear your back agya, he has said it in a very short form, thou shalt not have adulterous eyes. And people thought it's an impossible situation. Because he was not allowed to live long. Actually, his public life is limited to 3.5 years only. So whatever he says has a very great significance. That your eyes should not be adulterous. When there is innocence, there is no adultery. It means there is no impurity. For example, with our eyes, we see something and we want to possess it. We start thinking. The thought starts like a chain, one after another, and then we get into the web of horrible thoughts, and then we become slaves of those thoughts. Without even our knowledge, our eyes are turned to things which are very gross and take you downward. As Sri Krishna has said that the tree of awareness grows upside down, that the roots are in the brain and the branches grow downward. Those who have gone towards materialism have grown downward. Those who have gone towards divine have grown upwards towards the roots. The main root, as they call the tap root, the main root is, in a sense, is Shri Ganesha. And he becomes Mahaganesha in Ganpati Pura. Here he is surrounded by the father principle, the guru principle of the sea, the ocean, the Indian Ocean. That is, here he becomes the Guru. When a Sahajogi establishes his Shri Ganesha principle, he is still a child. Of course, his eyes start becoming purer and purer and powerful and glistening. You must have seen when the Kundalini gives you the realization, then your eyes start gleaming, like a spark is there in the eye. You can make out a spark. With ego, it gets covered. With ego, it blinds. With superego, it is covered with tears. But when they are clear, you see the beauty of the eyes. Shri Ganesha shining through your glances. The attention now starts flowing through the window of Shri Ganesha's temple. But when you mature, you become Mahaganesha. Then Mahaganesha is established in you, and you become a Sadguru. You become a divine Guru. You can teach others. Even a child could be that. Even a grown-up person may be stupid. It has nothing to do with age, color, creed, or caste. It is a state to which one can reach at any time. Like we can say here we had Dhaneshwara, who at a very young age composed the great Ganeshwari. As you have seen yesterday, at the age of 12 years, Gorakhnath established his Mahaganesha. But if you do not try to ascend, then you will remain at the same stage even when you grow old. So maturity is the indication. Here, as we see in Ganpati Pule, Shri Ganesha is in its complete matured form. So that we develop also our Mahaganesha within ourselves. And our eyes become pure, powerful, and divine. With proper working out, I'm sure we can establish that state within ourselves. आज आम्ही गणपती पुळ्याला आलो, ह्याचं फार महात्म्य आहे. अष्टमी नाकामध्ये हे महागणेशाचं स्थान आहे. महागणेश हा पीठाधीश आहे आणि ह्या पीठावर बसूनच तो सर्व गणेशांचं रक्षण करतो. सर्व ओंकाराची चालना करतो. कारण त्याला गुरुतत्व मिळालेलं आहे. वातावरणात सुद्धा आपण पाहिलं की समुद्र इतका सुंदर आणि स्वच्छ ह्या गणपतीचे पाय धुतोय. कारण समुद्र हा गुरुतत्व आहे आणि त्या गुरुतत्वाने तो श्री गणेशाचे पाय धुतो. तसेच सर्व सहयोगांचे झाले पाहिजे. गणेशस्तुती झाली, गणेश स्थापना झाली, त्यानंतर महालक्ष्मी तत्वाने तुम्ही महागणेश झाला. ही स्थिती आहे ती लहान मुलांना, मोठ्या मुलांना, वयस्क स्त्री सर्वांना सुलभ मिळू शकते जर त्यांच्यामध्ये सरळ स्वभाव आला. ज्याला आपण सारल्य म्हणतो मराठी भाषेत, ज्याला बोधिता म्हणतात, इनोसेन्स ज्याला म्हणतात, ते जेव्हा आपल्यामध्ये पूर्णपणे बाणून जातं तेव्हा आपल्याला गुरुपद येऊ शकतं. कोणताही गुरु ज्याच्यामध्ये ती सरलता, ते भोळेपण नाही, तो कधीही गुरु होऊ शकत नाही. तो अगुरू आहे. ज्याचं लक्ष फक्त परमेश्वरी शक्तीकडे आहे तोच गुरु होऊ शकतो. सर्वसाधारण माणसाचं लक्ष हे दूषित आहे, ते स्वच्छ नाही. त्याबद्दल ख्रिस्ताने सांगितलं आहे की तुमच्या डोळ्यामध्ये कोणताही दूषितपणा नसला पाहिजे. त्याचा अर्थ असा की आमच्या डोळ्यांनी आम्ही कोणत्याही वस्तूकडे पाहिलं की विचाराचं काहूर माजून जातं आणि भलते सलते विचार येऊन ही वस्तू आपण मिळवावी किंवा ही आपल्याला का मिळाली नाही, त्यांनी हेवे दावे असे होतात. कोणत्याही वस्तूकडे बघून जर विचार आला तर तुम्ही आज्ञाचक्रावर अजून मात केलेली नाही. कोणत्याही वस्तूकडे बघून निर्विचारिता आली पाहिजे. विशेष करून जेवढ्या परमेश्वरी संपत्तीत समृद्ध अशा देवी देवता आहेत त्यांच्याकडे पाहून तरी निर्विचारिता आली पाहिजे. निर्विचारिता आली तर दूषितपणा येणार नाही. कारण मनाला दूषित करणारे विचारच येणार नाहीत, मग दूषितपणा कसा येईल? म्हणजे जे ख्रिस्तानी सांगितलं की तुम्ही डोळ्यांनी कोणताही दूषितपणा आला नाही पाहिजे, इतके स्वच्छ असले पाहिजे जसे सूर्याचे किरण हे जेव्हा कोणत्याही झाडांवर पडतात त्यातली घाण घेत नाहीत, पण त्याला प्रफुल्लित करतात, पल्लवित करतात. इतकंच नव्हे पण त्याच्यामध्ये शक्ती देतात. तसेच एका सहयोगाच्या डोळ्यामध्ये तेज असायला पाहिजे की जे या सर्व जगामध्ये अत्यंत शुद्ध वातावरण निर्माण करतील. शुद्ध वातावरणाची आज आपल्याला सगळीकडे गरज आहे. याच्यामध्ये शांती, आनंद आणि परमेश्वराची शक्ती नांदू शकते. नुसतं श्री गणेशाला भजून होत नाही, आपल्यामध्ये श्री गणेश जागृत झाला पाहिजे, त्याचा महागणेश झाला पाहिजे. महागणेश झाल्यानंतरच आपल्या देशाचं व आपल्या देशाच्या कारणाने इतर देशांचे भले होणार आहे. आपणच दुसऱ्यांचं पुढारीपण करणार आहोत अशी दशा आहे. पण जर आपण हातामध्ये ही जबाबदारी घेतली नाही तर ह्या संबंध विश्वाचं काय होईल ते मला सांगता येत नाही. तरी सर्वांना विनंती आहे की आपल्या डोळ्यातला दूषितपणा काढून टाकला पाहिजे. त्यासाठी आपल्याकडे सहयोगामध्ये मंत्र निर्विचारचा आहे. विचारच येऊ द्यायचा नाही. कोणत्या गोष्टीकडे बघून जर विचार आला तर नेती नेती वचन आहे, काय हे नाही, हे नाही, हे नाही म्हणत जायचं किंवा क्षमा केली असं म्हणत गेलं की तो विचार नष्ट होतो आणि निर्विचारिता एकदा आली म्हणजे दूषितपणा येण्याचा मार्गच खुंटतो. सर्वांनी पूर्णपणे प्रयत्न करावा की डोळे दूषित नसावे. ह्या डोळ्यांनी जर दूषितपणा येत असेल तर ते डोळे नको, असं श्री संत तुकारामांनी म्हटलेलं आहे. त्यापेक्षा आंधळाचं बरा मी. तेव्हा एक पराचं असं म्हटलं पाहिजे की ह्या दूषित गोष्टीच्याकडचं आंधळेपणच बरं आणि परमेश्वराकडचं डोळस पण. ह्या दोन्ही गोष्टींची जेव्हा सांगड बरोबर बसेल तेव्हा असं म्हणता येईल की सहयोगी आता गुरुपदाला गेलेले आहेत. माझा तुम्हा सर्वांना पूर्ण आशीर्वाद आहे की आज ह्या पुण्याला जे महागणपतीचे स्थान आहे त्याच्या विशेष कृपेने तुम्हा सर्वांना लवकरच गुरुपद मिळावे.
Let's now sit in silent meditation for 5 minutes. And we'll just play some gentle music while we meditate. That concludes this morning's first morning meditation of the 2021 International Shri Ganesha Puja Festival online. Thank you for joining us today, and please join us over the next 2 weeks as each of the hosting countries also leads a morning meditation at this same time, 7 a.m. Cabella time. So please watch and enjoy, and let's all come together for meditation. Jai Shri.
Cabella, Puja, रूपदेवी निर्मलाचे आम्ही पाहू सासराते रूपदेवी निर्मलाचे आम्ही पाहू सासराते रूपदेवी निर्मलाचे आम्ही पाहू सासरात अंबा भवानी जननी भक्तकारा वदाया भवानी जननी भक्तकारा वदाया साला काबेला पूजेला सत्य सुंदर साला काबेला पूजेला सत्य सुंदर माता पार्वती पार्वती गौरी गणेशा वंदया माता भगवती पार्वती गौरी गणेशा वंदया त्रिपुरासुरने सतोते शिव शंकराला तोते त्रिपुरासुरे सतोते शिव शंकराला तोते त्रिपुरासुरे सतोते शिव शंकराला तोते पुत्र गणपती गणपती राणी सहायला झाला पुत्र गणपती गणपती राणी सहायला झाला चालला काबेला पूजेला सखू सुंदराम निर्मला चालला काबेला पूजेला सखू सुंदराम निर्मला माता भगवती पार्वती गौरी गणेशा वंदया माता भगवती पार्वती गौरी गणेशा वंदया त्रिपुराचा नाश केला गण येते चिरागीला त्रिपुराचा नाश केला गण येते चिरागीला त्रिपुराचा नाश केला गण येते चिरागीला दाह शृंगांचा दिसा हातांचा शोभला दाह शृंगांचा दिसा हातांचा शोभला चालला काबेला पूजेला सखू सुंदराम निर्मला चालला काबेला पूजेला सखू सुंदराम निर्मला माता पार्वती पार्वती गौरी गणेशा वंदया माता भगवती पार्वती गौरी गणेशा वंदया रूपदेवी निर्मलाचे आम्ही पाहू सासराते रूपदेवी निर्मलाचे आम्ही पाहू सासराते रूपदेवी निर्मलाचे आम्ही पाहू सासराते अंबा भवानी जननी भक्तकारा वदाया अंबा भवानी जननी भक्तकारा वदाया चालला काबेला पूजेला सखू सुंदराम निर्मला चालला काबेला पूजेला सखू सुंदराम निर्मला माता भगवती पार्वती गौरी गणेशा वंदया माता भगवती पार्वती गौरी गणेशा वंदया चालला काबेला पूजेला सखू सुंदराम निर्मला चालला काबेला पूजेला सखू सुंदराम निर्मला माता भगवती पार्वती गौरी गणेशा वंदया माता भगवती पार्वती गौरी गणेशा वंदया चालला काबेला पूजेला सखू सुंदराम निर्मला चालला काबेला पूजेला सखू सुंदराम निर्मला माता भगवती पार्वती गौरी गणेशा वंदया माता भगवती पार्वती गौरी गणेशा वंदया चालला काबेला पूजेला सखू सुंदराम निर्मला चालला काबेला पूजेला सखू सुंदराम निर्मला माता भगवती पार्वती गौरी गणेशा वंदया 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 गौरी गणेशा वंदया गौरी गणेशा वंदया हमें रखना सीखे हमने राह पर चलना। क्रोध लोभ मोह मत्सर और अहंकार से हमको बचाना। हम क्रोध लोभ मोह मत्सर और अहंकार से हमको बचाना। माया में गिर जाओ न माता, माया में गिर जाओ न माता, अनन्य भक्ति दे सहजी बनाना। अपनी निगाह में हमें रखना, अपनी पनाह में हमें रखना, अपनी पनाह में हमें रखना। सीधे हमने राह पर चलना। क्षमावान कोई तुझसा नहीं मार, हे परमेश्वरी हे शुभकारी। क्षमावान कोई तुझसा नहीं मार, हे परमेश्वरी हे शुभकारी। ज्ञान कर्म भक्ति दे देवी, ज्ञान कर्म भक्ति दे देवी, मां चरणों अक्षय पद देना। करुणा की छावा में
No mai haere mai I tene wā I tapu haere mai haere mai haere mai wairua tapu wairua tapu Wairua tapu ke konei koe ka whakapai a mātau I tēnei wā ko te amorangi ki moa ko te hāpai o ki muri Kua hari matau Nā te maunga teitei Kua tai mai koe Shri Mataji Nirmala Devi Kara koe o mātou ngā kau Kia ata whai koe ma te mari e a te atua Kara koe te atua Ko te amorangi ki moa Ko te hāpai o ki muri Kua hari matau
There's so much happiness, you cannot use it up. A motherless child is the most miserable being, as vulnerable as a weed on barren ground. If you should stray from your mother's side, where will you find happiness? In all the world, mother is the greatest. The children don't know how happy they are. If they had one glimpse of their happy state, they would smile even in their sleep.
The Wayangkulit employs traditional musical instruments like the gamelan and serunai, and the Kelantanese dialect is used. With the permission of Shri Mataji, we, the Malaysian yogis, now humbly present excerpts from the Ramayana told through the eyes of Shri Ganesha in the English language.
In the beginning, all was darkness. The Almighty Lord Sadashiva was in yogic sleep. When he awoke, he had a desire. This desire expressed the feminine principle of the divine, known as Shri Adishakti. It separated from the Almighty and took a form of its own. But before she created the universe, our Divine Mother, in her infinite love for her creation, decided to fill it first with holiness. And thus, before time and space, Shri Ganesha was created by Shri Adishakti. One of the names of Shri Ganesha is what a hot sun scorching everyone. Let me see what I can do so that we can all enjoy my mother's cool Chaitanya. Hot but tasty.
Oh, the sun! What has happened? Where's the sun gone? Hanuman, the children of the earth cannot survive without the sun. Your duty is to control the heat in all living things. Release the sun, my child.
Oh, Mother, may you find pleasure in everything I do. My brother, this decision of our fathers is unreasonable. I will not allow this. Our father has been bewitched by Kaikeyi. Bless me, brother. Bless me, and I will install you as king. Oh, Lakshmana, you do not understand me. I have no desire for the kingdom or for kingship. Dharma is my desire. My duty, and yours too, Lakshmana, is to obey and honor our father. If one follows Dharma, even if the path leads to the dark forest of the Dandaka, one has nothing to fear.
My lord, I shall go with you.
Sita, what are you saying? You are a princess, daughter of the great King Janaka. I shall be a wanderer, unable to provide you with the comfort that befits you. The path I tread will be stony. The food I eat will be berries and tree bark. I could not bear to see you suffer like that, my love.
My lord, as you say, I am Raja Janaka's daughter. My place is beside you, my lord. I have learnt of Dharma no less than you. If I am at your feet, I will be in joy. If you do not permit me to follow you, I too shall be in exile.
If that is so, then let us leave and bid farewell to Ayodhya. While his uncle Maricha led Sri Rama and Sri Lakshmana away, Ravana decided to enter Sita's compound. Oh, how beautiful she is. Oh, I cannot bear it. I must have her. I must. Child, will you give alms to an old sannyasi?
Yes, honored Father. Please take this.
Thank you, child, thank you. But come closer, child, come closer. Who are you, and what are you doing in this dark and dangerous forest by yourself? You're so enchanting. Your tender feet should be adorned with jewels, not walk upon this thorny land.
Father, I am Sita, the wife of Rama, Prince of Ayodhya. Obeying the wishes of his parents, he has come to live in the forest here with me and his younger brother Lakshmana.
Live in the forest? What manner of this man is this Rama, Prince of Ayodhya? Obeying the wishes of his parents indeed. How can he bring you to this jungle and leave you here all alone? He's not worthy of you.
You don't know my husband, Rama, or you would not speak about him that way. He is a mighty warrior, brave and just, and a loving husband to me. Honored Father, who are you, and why do you speak of Rama with such disdain?
Who am I? I am Ravana, King of Lanka, Lord of the Rakshasas. Now that you know how great I am, come away with me, my beloved, and be my queen. Leave that weakling Rama. You deserve better.
No, stop. Say no more. I am Rama's heart and soul.
Really? Well, if you will not come willingly, then I will take you.
Rama! Rama! Help! Help! Rama! Help! Help! Rama! Help!
Arrogant and lustful was Ravana, blinded by his passions, forgetful of Dharma. He does not know me. I am the purity in the eyes of husbands and wives who love each other faithfully. I am the sweetness in their loving attention to each other and in the innocent relationships of a pure society. Ravana does not know me. After a long search and many adventures along the way, Sri Rama, Lakshmana and Hanuman, assisted by the Vanara or monkey army, met with the fearful army of Lanka. Finally, Ravana, filled to the brim with anger and grief at his terrible losses, stood face to face with Sri Rama. Rama, you may have killed all my kinsmen, but you have yet to face me. Prepare to meet your end. Ravana, release Sita even now, and this senseless war can be stopped. Coward! I will never release her! Never!
Why do you not aim at his heart? You can kill him that way. O Lakshmana, sinner that he is, I cannot, for he holds Mahalakshmi in his heart. But sooner or later, his attention will go to his attacked heads. And then... the time is right now. I invoke the name, this Brahmarashtra in the name of Shri Ganesha. Long live Shri Ram! Jai Shri Ram!
And finally, after the battle with Ravana, at long last, Sri Rama saved Sita and returned to Ayodhya. The city was in great joy and celebration, for at long last, Rama is crowned the rightful king of Ayodhya.
In innocence, the divine actors played their predestined roles. In surrender to the Divine Mother, Sri Rama, Sri Sita, Lakshmana and Hanuman fulfilled their destinies. Sri Rama surrendered the knowledge that he was Lord Narayana. He also surrendered to his beloved wife to appease his subjects, although in every fiber of his being he knew she was purity personified. Sri Sita was Mahalakshmi herself. She played her part in being abducted when a single glance of her chaste eyes could reduce Ravana and all of Lanka to ashes. Seemingly inactive, she supplied Shakti to Sri Rama to destroy Ravana. And Lakshmana, surrendering everything, he followed Sri Rama and Sri Sita into the forest to serve and protect them. Hanuman, my brother, innocent he is. In his heart resides Sri Rama, his devotion and surrender unquestioned and complete. And so, Sahajyogis of the world, dear brothers and sisters, the Dandaka forest of modern times is more treacherous and is indeed filled with Rakshasas more arrogant than Ravana and more skillful than Shurpanaka in hiding their true natures. They tempt human beings with promises of power and greed and lust. Only by surrendering fully to the lotus feet of Sri Adishakti can we too be ideal human beings, her children.
Bolo Shri Adishakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi ki jai! Ki jai! Ki jai!
1,500 years ago, a force came out of the east. It started among simple people like these with the word of a young Arab tribesman, Mohammed, who claimed to have received a message from God. The message was Islam, or surrender to God. Within 100 years, the light of Islam had spread around the world. No other religion had ever grown so fast. To these people, Islam was more than a religion. It offered them a set of rules that would govern every aspect of their lives. Home life, the family, politics, law and order were all part of the message of Islam.
Death of the Prophet Muhammad in 632. Following the death of the Prophet Muhammad in 632, Islam fell immediately into a period which he had already predicted, a period of division and disaccord. The Prophet Muhammad had said, "The followers of Moses will be divided into 71 fractions, and the followers of Jesus into 72, but my followers will be divided into 73 fractions, out of which, at the end of time, during the last judgment, only one branch will return to me. But how can we know which fraction is that which will return into the arms of the Prophet?" The first thing to understand is how Islam came to being divided into 73 fractions. The first major division was brought about by the jostling for succession following the Prophet's death. Hazrat Ali, the Prophet's cousin and husband of his daughter Fatima, was judged by many to be the rightful heir to the leadership of Islam, and in many texts it is stated that the Prophet had verbally named Ali as his successor. Unfortunately, many of those close to the Prophet did not agree, and this succession was strongly contested, particularly by Abu Bakr, one of the Prophet's companions and father of Aisha, the Prophet's second wife. This brought about the beginnings of the first major separation, with on one side the Shias, meaning family, professing allegiance to the Prophet's family as those who had divinity within them, and on the other side the Sunnites, meaning tradition, those giving allegiance to a political kind of succession.
Was not written by Muhammad Shah, you know that, because he did not know how to read and write. So he told about it to his friends, who also did not know how to read and write. So then, the children of these, we should say his friends, they were educated, and after 40 years, after the death of Hazrat Muhammad Shah, we can say the Quran was written. At that time, before that, a big problem started. Because you are all Shias, I am quite happy to tell you about what happened. That Abu Bakr became the head of the Islam, Abu Bakr. And he was a fundamentalist. Actually, it was Hazrat Ali who had to become the head. Ali had to become. But somehow or other Abu Bakr managed, he was a very ambitious man, to become the head of Islam. It's a history, I am telling you. Now, when he became, he tried to argue with Hazrat Ali. And he said that whatever written in the Quran is all right, and he added his own things also to it. Now Hazrat Ali, you know, had a fight with him. I know the whole history about it, because my father translated Quran into Hindi language. So I've read Quran also, quite nicely. Now what happened? It's a history where the turning point took place. As you know, Hazrat Ali became head, but later on he was killed. and his 2 sons were killed. And the wife of Muhammad Sahib, Aisha, was told that you will go and fight against the truth, and you will know it when the dogs will bark. So when she went on the other side, it's called as Hawa. It happened. And dogs started barking, but still she didn't listen. And she went and told the other side of the people that whatever is Abu Bakr saying is all right. You listen to Abu Bakr. So the rift started that time. And as you know, later on, Hassan and Hussein both were killed in Karbala. That's how Shia and Sunni 2 parties started. I must say, thank God you are Shias. Because Shia believe in many things which are the truth.
And so it came to pass that Ali was put aside, and Abu Bakr became the first Caliph, successor to the Prophet, reigning for 2 years until his natural death. At the time of Abu Bakr's rise to power, the Prophet's daughter made very public statements denouncing him, and a very well-known plea at the grave of her father, asking him why he had left them in such a situation. Abu Bakr quickly did what he could to suppress the family, and he confiscated all their wealth and belongings. During Abu Bakr's reign, Islam spread out over Oman, the Arab Emirates, and part of Israel. Following Abu Bakr came the Caliphate of Oman, and we can see his many conquests which took Islam into Syria, Iran, and Turkey. Oman reigned for 10 years until his assassination. The 3rd Caliph was Osman, and his reign was very fruitful for the spread of Islam, reaching the entirety of Iran, Iraq, Libya, Egypt, Tunisia, Afghanistan, and even Russia. He in his turn was assassinated amongst much internal strife and bickering. The Shiites had already refused all allegiance to the Osman dynasty and had accused them of falsifying the Quran by taking out references made by Hazrat Ali. It was finally in 556 that Ali gained his rightful place at the head of Islam. Even though all the Prophet's direct companions were dead and gone, the political climate was very turbulent, and the Sunnite factions, already well used to being in control, were not ready to let Ali rule in peace. In particular, there was Muawiyah, the cousin of Osman, who did all in his power to see the downfall of Ali and to install himself at the head of Islam. He succeeded by arranging for the killing of Ali, which was carried out with a poisoned sword during a battle. The Shias continued in their adherence to the succession of Imams, and a series of 11 Imams were the spiritual leaders of Shiite Islam, until 878, when the 12th and final Imam was born. On the other side, Muawiyah had become the Caliph, and a very Arab version of Islam was continuously pushed wherever possible. The Caliph was at the same time the spiritual leader, political leader, and head of the army. Sunnism took on a more external aspect: law, government, crusade, while Shiism, adopted by Persia, much of Iraq, and other pockets in the Arab world as their religion, turned inwards to the more mystical side of Islam. After the death of Muawiyah, his son Yazd came into power and took it upon himself to rid the Muslim world of the remaining direct members of the Prophet's family. Ali's son Hussein was thus killed, cruelly ambushed at Karbala and murdered along with 72 members of his family and entourage, including women and children. His brother Hussein was also killed sometime later. This was the last straw for the Shiites, and the rupture was final between the two factions. The conquests and warring of the various Islamic factions and branches continued up until the last Khalifa of the Ottoman Empire. The Ottoman dynasty saw the spread of Islam up into Europe, France, Hungary, Spain, and well into Russia. They conquered the Moguls, North Africa, and Persia, and it seemed that the early caliph's dream of a Muslim world was becoming a reality. Until the 18th century, when the Christians began to regain much of their territory, the Ottoman Empire was one of the most widespread empires ever known in the world after the Romans. By the end of the First World War, however, the Ottoman Empire had been just about dismantled. This brings us into the present day, where Islam is followed by 1.2 billion people worldwide. The 12 million Shiites find themselves predominantly in Iran, Oman, Bahrain, Iraq, Yemen, Afghanistan, and Turkey. Smaller communities also exist in Syria, Pakistan, India, Saudi Arabia, and various former Russian states. Sunnis account for 90% of all Muslims, and Shiites for only 10%. And within these two groups there are indeed as many fractions as Muhammad had predicted. Even though the days of open crusade and cruel conversion are over, there remains a mentality that Islam is the only true religion and all should be converted despite Muhammad's respect for Christianity and Judaism. Unfortunately today, it seems that wherever there is a strong Muslim population, trouble, social unrest and even outright violence will also be found, as we can see by the flames marking trouble spots in today's world. We will interest ourselves with the Shiite branch of Islam, as they kept an inward and more devotional orientation to their religion, and have a spiritual heritage which leads them to a belief that a Messiah will return at the time of Last Judgment, and this Messiah is the 12th Imam, previously mentioned, known as Mahdi. In the Shiite scriptures, all of which have been excluded from within the Sunnite dogma, the Prophet, Fatima and Ali and various of the other 11 Imams have all spoken of the time of Last Judgment and how the 12th in the series of Imams will reappear to pass judgment and also to reveal to the people true religion. The Imam Mahdi was born in 878 AD, but lived a life of complete recluse. He communicated by the medium of 4 representatives, and any dealings or advice needed were only through these 4 people. Imam Mahdi was said to have remained on this earth until the age of 70 or so years, but before disappearing he issued a letter via one of his representatives. In this communication he described how he would now not be visible in the earthly way, but that he would return at the end of time, the Last Judgment, and the following resurrection, Qiyamah, to teach mankind true religion. He further stated that until that day he left no representative on the earth, the only authority being God himself. It's not hard to understand why this prophecy was not widely accepted, because it basically denied the legitimacy of religious leaders over the people, a proposition of little interest to both the Shiite and Sunnite bastions of religious hierarchy. Islam had already managed to indoctrinate its followers into believing that man cannot reach God and could certainly never have direct communication, So it was not possible that they accept that God should send yet another messenger to give the people that direct access. Hence, these prophets became more or less myths. Luckily, there have always been Sufis, even before Islam, and these were people who believed that God was to be found within and avidly searched for that inner connection. They paid creed to no religion and lived very simple lives of devotion and surrender. It is through Sufis of Arab and Persian descent that these myths and prophecies were kept alive, inwardly researched, and are now available for us today. Unlike Christianity, where the Gnostics, the equivalent of Sufis, were practically wiped out and their scriptures with them, the Sufis were left for the most part to live in peace, and hence their spiritual heritage remains intact and very highly appreciated in this age for its depth and simplicity. Within Sufi literature, we find not only information which confirms that a direct relationship with God is possible, but which also describes the inner being of man and where we can find this connection. Born in 736, the Sufi Semnani wrote extensively about the 7 subtle organs found within each human being. These 7 organs represent divinity within man and reflect the true self within. He describes how these organs are responsible for man from his birth through to death, and for spiritual birth and ascension. He further notes that these interior workings and the rules which regulate them are the same for both Muslim and Christian. The subtle organs are called latifa, and through their awakening, the seeker can become God himself. As one can imagine, when Sufis happen to openly state that one can himself become God, the deeply indoctrinated Muslims who refused to even imagine such a possibility were none too happy. Many Sufis who publicly proclaimed their godliness were tortured and cruelly killed. Now let us move into the world of the 12th Imam. Hazrat Ali has given very vivid descriptions about the era when the 12th Imam will return. The people will neglect prayer, squander the divinity which is conferred on them, legalize untruths, accept bribes, sell religion, break family ties, obey passion and consider bloodletting insignificant. Generosity will be considered as a weakness and injustice as glory. Princes will be debauched and ministers will be oppressors. The most ignoble of the people will become leaders, the liar considered as truthful, and the traitor as trustworthy. Women will resemble men, and men will resemble women. The Mahdi, meaning the guide, will come during this period to put all back in order. His birth is described. At the moment of birth, a light pierced the top of the child's head and reached into the depths of the sky. This child is the Mahdi, he who fills the earth with equality and justice, just as it is now filled with oppression and injustice. The Imam Mahdi is known as the hidden Imam, meaning that he is not physically present. As to the way of benefiting from his presence during his absence, it is similar to the profit we gain from the sun while it is hidden from sight by the clouds. He comes to re-establish the lost sense of sanctity. Firstly, he will re-establish Islam to its original purity and integrity. The other religions, also abandoned and disfigured, will be equally re-established in their original truth and purity by Mahdi. The 5th Imam al-Bagir gives the meaning of the name of Mahdi. Mahdi, the guide, is named as such because it is he who will guide us in the secret teachings. In this way, the awaited Mahdi will prepare the earth for the last judgment and the resurrection. The Sufi Semnani states further, the mystic must experience within himself the spiritual power of the awaited Imam. not content himself to await the actual coming, but to bring himself closer, to prepare himself. Mahdi becomes each one's personal interior master. And a final word from Semnani. I attest that Muhammad is the messenger of God, but don't you think those words are enough to make one a real Muslim? The Imam Jafar describes the qualities possessed by the followers of Mahdi. All the faithful joining the ranks of Mahdi will be gifted with special miraculous powers. In particular, the power of super-sensitive communication with the Mahdi. God will develop the hearing and sight of the faithful in such a manner that, without there being a messenger between the Imam and themselves, he will speak with them, and they will hear and can see him without him having left the place where he is. For decisions which they have difficulty in taking, they will receive instructions and direction from the Imam, who will write on the palms of their hands. They need only look and then execute the orders. It is no doubt true that these scriptures talk about Mahdi in the male form, but then if we look at all the one God religions, they have erased the female power from spirituality. The comparisons that we can draw between these scriptures and prophecies and the teachings of our Holy Mother are too exact to be qualified as chance. As we search deeper into the original sources of a religion, we find that all prophets and saints spoke of the guide who would come to show us the way to reach our Holy Father. The magnitude of the corruption that man has brought into religion becomes clearer as we continue to unearth documents which try to guide us towards our true spiritual awakening. And thus God spoke to Muhammad. O Muhammad, these are my friends, my pure elect, and my proof after you for mankind. They are your legatees and your priests, and the best of my creatures after you. By my glory and my majesty, I will manifest through them my religion, and I will raise through them my word. Through the last of them, Mahdi, I will make the earth pure of my enemies. I will establish him from sunrise to the sunset throughout the entire earth. I will confer to his power the wind, and will lower for him the stubborn clouds. I will help him with my army, and aid him with my angels, until my name is raised, and all creatures acknowledge my uniqueness. And I will prolong his reign, and I will ensure the succession of my friends over the time until the day of resurrection.
Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله لا إله إلا الله الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح
아시다하니
sharika la sharika lahu mulikul mulka la sharika lahu wahdahu La ilaha illahu wahdahu la ilaha illahu Shamsa tabareitza karakuda talaban kushabuka la ilaha Mataji, ji, Mataji, ji, Mataji, 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 Mataji. Mataji, 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 Malikul mulk la sharika lahu, wahdahu la ilaha illahu. Mataji, 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 Mataji. ये ज़मी जब बनाती ये जहाँ जब बनाता ये ज़मी जब बनाते ये जहाँ जब बनाता चंदा सूरज नाते आसमां जब बनाता सूरज नाते आसमां जब बनाता राज़े हक भी किसी पर आया जब बनाता राज़े हक भी तब नाचार कुचिया कर तू ही तू माताजी 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 माता माताजी 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 Sapama, Sadapa, Sanira, Sasani, Sa. Katabanatar,
Sagare magapasa, sagare magapamada pare, sagare magapasa, sagare magapamagare, sagare magapasa, sagare magapamada pare, sagare magapasa. Akalape kuletu,
Alape kuletu,
Akalape kuletu,
alape kuletu,
Akalape kuletu,
alape kuletu,
Akalape kuletu,
alape kuletu,
Akalape kuletu, Akalape kuletu,
alape kuletu,
Sare alam ko hai teri hi tutadut,
Sare alam ko hai teri tutadut,
Teri jalwa gari hai Allah charasu,
Teri jalwa gari hai Allah charasu,
Ya sharika lahu,
Ya sharika lahu,
Malikul mulkatu,
Mataji, Mataji, Mataji,
ga re ga ma ga ma pa ma pa da da pa da ni da ni sa sa ni sa ni da ni da pa pa da ma pa ma ga ni ga ni sa adima Mataji, Mataji,
Teri
शान तेरी शान 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 ला इलाहा 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 तेरी शान या वदहू ला इलाहा तेरी शान या वदहू तू कया लोटा जसूस तू ही यार तू कया लोटा जसूस तू ही यार तू अंक की रोशनी दिल की आवाज तू अंक की रोशनी दिल की आवाज अभी तू है भी तू अभी तू है भी तू हो कभी तू भी तू माता जी 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 Adi Shakti, Adi Shakti, Adi Shakti, Mata Ji, Mata Ji, Mata Mataji, 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 Mataji. Bolo Shri Adi Shakti Mataji, Shri Nimala Devi Ki Jai, Ki Jai. Malekul Mulk la Sharika Lahu. وحده لا إله إلا هو
شمس تبریز گرکودا طلباند
وشبوكا لا إله Shri Mataji, kal pe kul hai tu, 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 kal pe kul hai tu. Kalape tu, kalape kule tu, tu, kalape kule 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 tu. Kalape kuletu, kalape kuletu, tu hitu, isme kar gufta gu. Tu hitu, isme kar gufta gu. Tu hitu, isme kar gufta gu. Tu hitu, isme kar gufta gu.
I must thank Australian collectivity, and all the other countries which are here, how beautifully they have organized the whole thing. They didn't waste any time with all these programs. They you don't know what I must be feeling when I see all these countries which I have visited before, and I know most of you very well. The way the whole joy and happiness that you have received through your spiritual awakening in the light of your spirit is very evident and very beautifully ringing like waves and waves. It is Sahajoga's dreams which I had is more than fulfilled, I can tell. I couldn't understand that how right from Australia, then Japan, then Taiwan, and Vietnam, all these countries. Plus the greatest of all is, I would say, people from Malaysia. That we have been able to organize this spontaneously, so beautiful. Somehow or other, it has worked out. That's all I can say. China, I never expected Chinese to come and sing these songs. It's very surprising. They sang so well. I have been to China. I've never heard such nice songs there. I mean, they were very rudimentary in the beginning, I felt. But this time, you find them really understanding what is missing. So we have people from all over the eastern side, and also others have joined you. Now this Qawwali has completely, you see, made my body vibrate with the same speed they were singing. And I didn't know what to do now. So this is what is love. And in this love, we just get immersed. This ecstasy that you were getting into was just nothing but is the bubbling of love. I'm still trying to see how this great assemblage of different culture, religion, and nationalities, which always bound us to limitations, and how suddenly you find so beautifully. Of all the places, I mean, I'm surprised, Iranians. Because Iran, you know, is in a great trouble. My attention is very much there, and I can't understand what's gone wrong with them. I really can't understand. I would have gone to Iran myself, but now such a thing has happened that I can't go. No use going like that. But things will work out, you will see. It will work out, and the country will change. It's all nonsense will be over. As it is, they are suffering too much. They are very poor, and fundamentalism, it is eating them off. They are all fighting among themselves. This is no religion, this is no Islam, this is not what Muhammad Sahib wanted. It is very difficult to explain to them or to tell them about Islam, that this is Islam. And this is what is the truth. There's one boy, he's an actor. He's a Sahajogi. His name is Javed Khan. He's a very well studied Quran, he studied very well. And he has brought out all the points which are absolutely similar to Sahaja. He sent it to me. Very brave. I told him, should I write your name? He said, yes, what will happen? He has a black belt. And there are 25 Muslim boys in India whom he has got it with black belts. So he said, if anybody comes to meet me, I can beat them. I said, you are not to beat them. No, mother, just few hands here and there, and they'll be on the... Such a nice boy, and very brave, very brave. He is not afraid. And he's living among Muslims only. So I told him, be careful. He said, what is there? They have to be careful about me. I'm standing on the truth. I was so happy to hear these words from this young man who has read Quran very carefully. So we can say now that it's not in different nations we have to think, but we have to think that we are belonging to one world of divinity. And there you are absolutely protected. In Russia, when I went there, they had a coup. And in the coup, everybody would be, upset. So I asked Russians, I said, aren't you afraid of what is happening in your country? He said, why? We don't belong to this country. We belong to God's country. We don't belong to this. We have nothing to do with this country. Just imagine. But the depth of Russians, I don't know from where they have got it. Very introspective, very deep people. I was amazed. And the good news is about, they had a medical conference in which one lady brought a note from the patriarch, means the head of their church, of the Orthodox Church, saying that Sahaja is not a cult and it is part of us. So, no danger of now, we were thinking that one day Sahaja will be banned in Russia. It cannot, because we have thousands and thousands of people. But this is the revelation we had by that lady, and I was very happy about it. And American Congress of, you can say, the Parliament of America has sent a very beautiful certificate for me. So all these things are coming from all the sides, and I think even Ayatollah Rouhani, he has said very clearly that in Islam there are only two ways of knowing the knowledge. One is by studying and another by becoming the self. Self-knowledge is the only way, and this work is done by Mataji. She is doing the work of Islam. Can you imagine? He's supposed to be the head of the Shiite people. So, though Iran is full of Shiite, their government seems to be stupid still and doesn't want to see the point. What has happened in Karbala or anything, still they are crying about it. It's over now. Now a new age has started, and I hope the Muslims will understand. I heard also that in London, Zafar has arranged some program with some Muslims, so I would like to see him tomorrow. How are they behaving? I mean, they can't kill me. They can't have fatwa on me. That's what they said. Only the Muslims get the fatwa. So I'm safe. Doesn't matter. Now this is very important, because that is one area where so many are still very blind. And I'm only worried, all of them going to go to hell or what? In the nonsensical idea of jihad and this and that. Let us see, it's a turning point. Maybe they will learn it. See, in India, most of the Muslims are not even educated. They are so poor, so uneducated. Now, how to talk to them, I don't understand. But this young generation like Javed, who have come up now, they are understanding what Islam has done to them is not what Islam is. And they are now standing there nicely built up with black belts to fight all kinds of nonsensical ideas. That I have got that letter, and I would like to take copy and give it to all the leaders to see what he has discussed about Islam so clearly. He has said it. It's only 3-4 pages, I think 4 or 5 pages. But we'll make copy of that and give it to you. We have to worry about them. They are your own. They are created by the same God, created by the same Adi Shakti. So they are your own, but they are getting destroyed. So we have to see that we really do something just to make them awakened, or tell them. I've been doing it, as see, on my own the way. But you all can talk to your friends who are Muslims and go around, and you can use this Javed's knowledge very well for that. Today's program was mixed with so many things, and the dances they had from these ladies from Bangkok, I've never seen such nice dances, never. I enjoyed them very much. But the raga was Indian. Both times I saw, raga was Indian. And also the tala was Indian, and they were dancing. I mean, like, we can say the angels coming on this earth to dance. Imagine, this place, I've been there, and I never expected they are so artistic, very artistic people. And art is something, is the blessing of God. That you all have got it, and I'm very happy about it. Try to develop your artistic talents also to balance the right side. Right side is too much, that's no good. So artistic talents will help you. Also the way you enjoyed music shows that you all are blessed with the appreciation of music. I also feel that Sahajogis should have all kinds of talents which are artistic. And they should get those talents, not in music, art, dancing, in everything. All these easy things are so encouraging to others, that they also want to do the same what you are doing. But for Qawwali, I must say you are masters now. Really, one Qawwal has died already, and now I see other Qawwals coming up very well, and young ones. So much impressive, so much. And this mood should remain forever with us. Have I missed any country? All right. Now, another attention has to be paid to America. Americans are very childish people, I must say. They are not grown up, very childish, and they also require attention from you. Because now you are becoming global, so you have to pay attention to them also, not Australia or say Taiwan, but to the people who are lacking in Sahaja Yoga, you have to attend to them. For Americans, I think music is the way we can approach America very well, if we can sing well and dance well. About dancing, I must say you all are in ecstasy, so there's no rhythm needed, nothing needed, you are in ecstasy. But still, it's better to learn steps. I must say Hamid is great for that. He's so light-footed, I'm amazed at him. He's very light-footed. So you have to learn from him how to dance. He's very good. And I think we'll have more people who will teach you how to dance. But ecstasy dance is different. But otherwise, you can have classical dancing. And you must have seen in India, they play legim with such a light foot. You see, and that's the blessing, such a big blessing for people to express themselves. I mean, Sahaja Yoga has spread in every sphere, and there are many people who have come I would say that we got a very famous man called as Glass Nobel. His son is another remarkable. I was amazed the way he took to me, took to Sahajoga. When I came to Berkeley, he was standing at the airport near the gate and with the flower. As soon as he saw me, he was just stunned. He didn't give me flowers, nothing, just stunned. For 2 minutes, he didn't know what he was doing. So deep he spoke very well, and he's organizing many things. He's a very nice young person we have got now with us. Now, I think America's stupidity is going to finish, and they are going to take to Sahaja Yoga, because all these stupid and you can call those false gurus are no more. There's 1 or 2 left. They'll also disappear very soon. They are using my lectures. They are using my book to impress people. But to give realization, they are not there. This is how this life is changing very slowly, beautifully, and it will come to its maturity very soon, I am sure. That people will accept officially Sahaja Yoga. It's difficult, very difficult it was when I started it. But now I think they have to. I was surprised the way they praised Dinah for this, her death, you know. Of course I felt bad also that she should have died. But she had no maryadas. She was a born realizer. I told people she's a born realizer. And that's why the compassion, you know, she couldn't help it. Just to meet people, talk to them, do them. But it is England, because England is the heart. And anything happens in England, it's such a little place like that, will spread all over. Let many queens die, let many kings die, this won't happen. This is because of England, from the heart. And this lady was so compassionate. Only thing, she used to just go and meet people, touch them, and funds she was raising. But despite that, I must say it is England, and also the media, which gave her such a highlights before. So now the media is into trouble because of her. But this is how Sahaj works. It turns things easily, and her death was also very remarkable. So from Sahaj point of view, the whole thing was a big drama. Necessary, very necessary to show that any woman who is compassionate, who is kind, is respected so much. I hope now English women will change their attitude towards others, because this should be a big lesson, that this lady, because she was so compassionate and good, that she was so much respected. And tomorrow I can't say these things in the puja, but today I have to say that I am thankful to you that we have 50 years of independence in our country. And this 50 years of independence has been so much wasted, because in the beginning it was constitution, beautiful constitution, beautiful people, very good people. I've seen extremely good people in India, full of idealism, full of principles, giving everything for the country. When I wrote this song, that time we were all arrested and tortured and this and that. That time I wrote this song for the glory of the mother. And that has happened today, because everywhere it was celebrated. But I must say that our country requires very much spirituality, very much. It's the source of spirituality, and it requires spirituality. But when they see you people singing the song of Adi Shakti, they are amazed. They can't understand. How can you sing all these things about our country? How do you know? One great musician was there in our program. She's very well known, she and her mother. And they said, we put our head down. I said, why? Because in such a short time, how can they sing so well with such beautiful rhythm, and such beautiful swaras. They cannot, they used to think these people, they can never sing Indian song. And they were so surprised at this. And this music has to go on. Baba Mama has already started the academy. He has already made 5 huts, he says. And his idea is to get people there to learn. But he says in 3 months they become experts. Something great about these people. Even Indian Sahajogis can't do that. What you people can do, Indian Sahajogis cannot do. That means there's something very special. In 3 months, one fellow sang Rag Malkaus with Alap, Vistar, everything. I was wondering what has happened. How can this Englishman do all that? Englishman of all the things. My father used to tell me that if you want to teach Hindi to an Englishman, better jump in the sea. That's it. Yet, if it was for Englishmen, what about others? I don't know. Now, with all this, you see your talent is showing your spiritual advancement very much, and that's how you must see. John, I know, is really great. Also, Andrew, I heard you today only, and you are all really very great musicians here sitting before me, and I respect you very much, and I hope you also respect this art and develop it better for the entertainment of others who are not yet such musicians. But they will be one day, I may have to extend the stage here. So, that's all right for today. Tomorrow we'll have puja at 5 o'clock. It's very cold now. It used to be quite hot, so we thought better have it at 9 o'clock. But I think we'll have the puja at 5. And tomorrow I'm going to tell you really something very deep. So come prepared for that. Thank you very much. Thank you. May God